Enjoy.
What is up, my purposeful people? Welcome back to my channel. Today is my 1 year lock anniversary. I'm so excited. Anyway, my hair is very dirty right now, so I'm just gonna go wash it real quick. I will tell you guys all about what this year has taught me, some things I've learned throughout this process, things I struggled with. I hope you guys learned something. Stay tuned. What's up, everyone? I just washed my hair, I oiled it up, and now I can talk to you guys about the things I learned these last 365 days. But for the most part, I would say I love that my hair is in the most natural state. I still do a quick water spritz. I try to every day, but you really should moisturize your hair or at least add water to it every day so that your hair is still being able to retain that moisture. Before I started locks, I knew that I wanted to have thick locks. So after I started my coils, there were some that did not go through that budding process like I was expecting them to. And then even once they started budding, they were very stringy. So retwists, I would already feel them like being really tiny. I didn't feel like my hair was very healthy in those areas. So I made the executive decision to combine the locks that I felt like were a little bit damaged, and so I didn't have to deal with like skinnier locks or my locks becoming more damaged in the future. With combining them, I was walking around for a few months with 2 strands. I would say I had anywhere from like 5 to 7 2 strands in my head. I probably looked real funny, but you know what? I chose to just not care because I knew what the end result was going to look like. So I made that decision. I was confident because I was like, I know my hair is just really stringy on the sides, or I have heat damage in the front of my head. So you just really have to know your hair. You have to know how it's going to work. Would they have turned out fine if I didn't combine them? We'll never know. I made that decision and now I'm living with it. Now there was a point where I wanted to combine all of my locks. I was like, I want thick locks, I want thick locks. And I'm very glad I didn't. I'm glad I stuck with those 5 to 7 because I will say the thicker your locks are, the less styles you can do. So if you're considering locks, think about how many you want. If you want thick locks, be more confident with more of a downdo than like lots of updos because there are less options when you have thick hair. Just being able to like twist and turn them the way you want. When they're not as skinny, it's a little bit more challenging. I locked my hair in July of 2020, and I will say my budding also started within that same month. Now, I thought about what my process looked like at the beginning. I was one of those people that have locks that wash their hair very early throughout the process. I don't like my hair to stink or be gross, and I felt like it was stinking and becoming gross. So I washed it. Now, I do have a video on how I washed my locks in the beginning stages. It really did help me. I was able to wash my hair without losing the coil and the definition, but I will say that with applying water that early to my locks, they uncoiled or did things that made my hair start budding. Just to give you a little bit more insight on what budding is, it's lock terminology that I had to learn for myself, but budding is when your coils, like your stringy coils, start to find little buds, little bubbles. And so my hair had like random budding and random bubbling. You can even see here, I probably had like budding right here, and then it didn't start budding here at the end until like later throughout my lock journey. So I do have those dips and divots throughout my locks, you can definitely see, but I love my locks the way they are. So if I want to change them, I have learned about the appropriate tools to do so, but other than that, they don't really bother me. Locks are, in my eyes, the most natural state your hair can be in. You aren't trying to find which leave-in and which product works the best with your hair, which chemicals work best with the other chemical. You are just, well, I just did shampoo. Yes, I did use conditioner. I know there's a kind of a debate on like if you use conditioner, if you have locks, or if you don't, I still use the same wash method. I still shampoo and condition. I do an oil on my hair. This bottle is actually empty because I just oiled my hair up, but I kind of live by this oil. Literally, I use oil, but everything is the exact same from what I was doing before. On to my next point. I did see a lot of articles and videos in the beginning that said, like, don't manipulate your hair too much within that first year. Now, I do know people that have manipulated their hair a lot within the first year and their locks are flourishing and doing fine, but I believed what people told me. I had never been through the lock process before, so I was like, let me listen to what these people are saying, because they probably struggled with things when they were over manipulating within that first month as well, or that first year as well. So I did a lot of just naturally wearing my hair down. I didn't do a lot of retwists. I've kind of committed to keeping my retwists on the lower side for this first year and probably my next year. Now, at this point, I'm very content with my hair. I did lots of research throughout the process, and when I wasn't researching, I was just being patient. I don't have any more areas where there's lots of budding. I feel like they're nearing to the mature stage, but honestly, I have no clue where my hair is at. I'm kind of just going with the flow of things. For the most part, this is what my hair looked like. And you're probably thinking, like, Nia, like, what did you do about retwists? First of all, I'm not the type of person that cares too much about like frizz or anything like that, because I have the length. I feel confident in my length and the way it looks. And so, to be honest, the only thing I would use to like control the frizz, or if I was going into work, would be a little headband. It would slip on right here, and I'm just allowing you guys to envision what it would look like with the headband. Very slick back, very neat, very professional look, and then beyond that point, I just didn't really care. So a headband was my go-to for this first year. So my one bit of advice that I will give to you is, if you are looking to start locks of your own, if you are looking to go to a loctician, if you're looking to have a friend start your locks, or if you're starting locks on your kid or anybody that you know that's near and dear to you, definitely know the hair type of the person who is going to be receiving the locks. It is very important, very vital information. It will help you a lot throughout the process. I am thankful that I started YouTube with natural hair before, and I learned a lot about my hair throughout the process, so that as I went through locks, I kind of knew how to maneuver through the system. So these are the things I've learned. I encourage you guys to get started, do your research, but really know your hair, know yourself, know that this is going to be a process, that you have to be patient throughout it. But I'm very content with where these last 365 days have brought me, and I am excited to see what the next years have to offer. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, set a goal for the day. Make sure you achieve that goal. Live life on purpose, because good enough isn't. If you learned anything from this video and you enjoyed this video, feel free to shoot me a comment or like it. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I will be posting more content now that I am 1 year locked, and I know a little bit more about what actually happened these last 365 days. It's much easier to evaluate the past instead of being like, this is what I'm living through right now. A lot of it wasn't making sense to me within the first year, but now that I look back, I do feel like I have a lot of information to share. So I'm happy to be back, happy to be sharing content with you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.